Alright, what is going on, everybody? We are in trade season. Shams, Woj, but I'm looking at Shams here, broke the news that OKC has traded Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns for Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, Ty Jerome, Jalen McHugh, and a protected pick in 2022. It's a first round pick that is protected. Picks 1 to 12 in 2022, 1 to 10 in 2023, 1 to 8 in 2024, and then if it's still not in the Thunder's possession, it's unprotected in 2025. So I think that in 2022, Chris Paul is still pretty good. They should be outside pick 12 range. So this allows the Suns, even if it's a disaster next year, to still get their first round pick. But wow, we get our first big trade. There's been a lot of rumors in Houston with Russ and Harden, but who knows? I don't think Harden's getting traded, and Russ might, but Chris Paul, we knew, was probably getting traded. I was very big on Milwaukee trying to get him, and they just probably didn't have the money to make it work. But Phoenix pulls the trigger, and they trade for Chris Paul. So we're going to be talking about it on both sides today. This is my reaction. I also have my Dennis Schroeder Lakers rebuild, and it's a Thunder rebuild as well, going out today. So you can be on the lookout for that. It was really fun. And then tomorrow, I'll do a Chris Paul Suns rebuild. And then I think for the Thunder, I won't do a rebuild for them until like the offseason's over, because I'm sure they might have a couple more moves left in them, or even just the draft picks and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll get a Chris Paul Suns rebuild tomorrow, but here's my reaction. For the Suns side of things, I like it. Now, you're kind of hurting your roster a little bit. Like, Chris Paul is definitely an upgrade over Ricky Rubio as a playmaker, as a defender, as a passer, as a shooter. Overall, he's a better player than Ricky Rubio in almost every aspect. Maybe Rubio's got better court vision, but not by much. And the defense is close, but I prefer Chris Paul even at his age. You're losing Kelly Oubre, though, which will hurt your scoring, but you also have DeAndre Ayton, you have Devin Booker, and you have Chris Paul. All three guys are capable of being a good kind of fit in your offense to be 15 plus per game scores. Now they have Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges that are going to play the 3 and the 4 as of now, because who knows if they're bringing back Dario Saric. But they were able to keep the 10th overall pick in this draft. Now, that is huge for them. They need to land on this pick. I think they should go for a wing. I mean, a perfect man. Oh, he's not going to be there because I think he's going to go to Detroit at pick 7. But Patrick Williams, because you could put him next to DeAndre Ayton. He can also space the floor. He helps you out defensively. Man, I would have loved Patrick Williams, and I would love for them to trade up, maybe with Detroit to get him. But now they're already losing their 2022 first. They're kind of losing assets that they can move in the future to maybe move up in the draft. If not, Isaac Okoro, Devin Vassell, I think there's a chance that one of those guys could be there at 10. Yeah, I think one of those guys could be there at 10. If not, you maybe target Aaron Nesmith for shooting, or you could target Sadiq Bey or Precious Achiuwa. I think either way, though, you got to take a forward/wing. Even Jalen Smith at 10, or possibly trading down to, I don't know, like 14 with Boston. That could be interesting. So, yeah, that's for the Suns point of view. I mean, you're losing Ty Jerome, but also you kind of have Javon Carter. Ty Jerome you took in the first round last year when they traded up with Boston, and then Boston traded out, I believe, to get Carson Edwards. But for the Thunder, yeah, they're getting a first-round pick from last year. They're getting Kelly Oubre, who at least will start at the small forward position for them. They lost both their point guards, so I don't know if they're going to run Shea at the 1 or the 2 next year. We'll see what they do in the draft at pick 25 and 28. They'll have Kelly Oubre and Lou Dort at the 3. Maybe they run Shea at the 1 and Hamidou Diallo at the 2. Steven Adams, I don't think he'll get traded. I mean, maybe if the Clippers wanted him, that's the only team I think that would maybe make a trade for Steven Adams. But yeah, you might as well go all in on a really good draft next year in 2021. They're not going to be very good. They're going to have a rookie head coach just continuing to develop those guys in OKC. They overachieved, obviously, this year. A lot of people didn't think they were going to be very good. So next year, you kind of take a back seat. You win 20 to 30 games. You get a top 10 pick, and you try to land a Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, BJ Boston, Evan Mobley, Zaire Williams, Jalen Johnson. It is a loaded draft class next year. It is loaded. It's a lot better in talent, at least that we know of, than 2020. So I like what Sam Presti's doing. I just tweeted out that he is a trade wizard because, to kind of branch off a little bit here, they traded Chris Paul or excuse me, they traded Russell Westbrook to the Rockets last year. They got 2 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps for that. That was just highway robbery to begin with. And you could make an argument that Chris Paul was better for the Thunder this year than Russell Westbrook would have been. And then they trade Chris Paul for another first-round pick and a solid young scorer in Kelly Oubre, who still is young now. You might say he's not really a ceiling raiser on a team. He's a floor raiser, but he's never really going to be a good enough, efficient number 1 or number 2 option on a really good team. You just might never see that in him, and that's fine with me, but he's just a transitional player for them, and maybe he's saving them from winning 15 games next year. But hey, that's a fun wing duo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Kelly Oubre. I could rock with maybe Kelly Oubre at the power forward position too, alongside Steven Adams. You figure out maybe what you're doing at point guard, or maybe you run Shai at the 1, Hamidou Diallo at the 2. Oh wait, no, they got Darius Bazley. Sorry for getting to completely mention Darius Bazley. But yeah, you have maybe Oubre at the 3, Bazley at the 4, Adams at the 5, Shai at the 1 or the 2, or maybe Shai at the 1, Lou Dort at the 2. And then you're adding 2 more draft picks, and hey, who knows, maybe they'll sign somebody or take a chance on like Isaiah Smith this offseason as well if Philly needs to clear cap. Man, I really like OKC's direction. Sam Presti literally has so much draft capital for the future. He could do so many different things that this has got to be so much fun to be him as a general manager and their scouting department, because they're going to have so many chances to draft good talent in the next 5 drafts from like 2020 to 2025. And even in 2027, I think they have a Clippers pick as well. But man, shout out to Sam Presti for this trade. Suns, it's a big move, but hey, if they could just give them some playoff basketball next year, I think it's a success. They haven't made the playoffs since 2010. So if Chris Paul can help you go to the playoffs next year, then I think that trade was worth it for the Suns. Giving up Ricky Rubio isn't much. Giving up Ty Jerome, Jalen McHugh isn't much either. That pick, who knows, in 2022, if you make the playoffs, it's going to be a non-lottery pick. It's looking like that pick will end up going to the Thunder in a non-lottery scenario. The really only asset you gave up that was big enough that it's like, okay, was it worth it, is Kelly Oubre. And I think Chris Paul could fit this team better than Kelly Oubre. You already kind of have your number 1 scoring option in Devin Booker. You have DeAndre Ayton, who could also, he needs the ball more. Back in the beginning of last year, he really didn't get the ball a lot, and in his rookie year as well. So hopefully he gets the ball more. Chris Paul obviously will be great in the pick and roll for DeAndre Ayton and kind of help his development as well. And you'll have Mikal Bridges, great defender. Him and Chris Paul will be nice for that defensive side of the ball. Cam Johnson for shooting. And then they have the 10th overall pick as well. They're not going to have a lot of cap space, but they will have bird rights under Sarge. If they want to bring him back, I think they should as a backup, maybe 4. And then, like I said, the 10th pick is going to be huge for the Phoenix Suns. You need to hit on it. I don't know if it's going to be Precious Achiuwa, Jalen Smith, Devin Vassell, Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro. But if they can get one of those guys at pick 10, and they can, that player can help them win now next year and catapult them from being a fringe playoff team this year, who they played well in the bubble, to actually being a playoff team in 2021. Because it's going to be tough. It really is. Because your locks for the Western Conference playoffs next year, you got the LA teams. You have most likely the Rockets. If they keep Harden and Westbrook, they're going to make the playoffs. You have the Nuggets. You have the Warriors. That's 5 locks guaranteed. And then probably the Mavericks are going to be a lock as well. So that's 6 teams. And then kind of outside there, the Jazz are most likely going to be back. And then how many teams you have competing for the 8 seed? You got Portland, you got the Pelicans, you got the Kings, you got the Grizzlies, you got the Suns, Timberwolves in there, and I'm probably forgetting another team as well that's somewhere in that pack. But yeah, it's going to be hard for the Suns to make the playoffs next year, but I think having this team of Chris Paul and keeping the 10th overall pick will give them a better chance than going with the same roster they had last year. So yeah, that is my reaction to the Chris Paul trade. Like I said, I will have a Suns Chris Paul rebuild out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And then today I have a Dennis Schroeder Lakers rebuild with kind of a Suns, a Thunder point of view on that as well. Yeah, I didn't know that the Chris Paul trade was happening for the Thunder, which is funny enough. But it was still a good video and it was really fun. And like I said, I will have a Chris Paul rebuild out tomorrow. And then for the Thunder, I don't think I'll do their rebuild for at least a little bit now. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I also said on Twitter that they might be my next franchise team because, oh boy, the draft capital they have. But yeah, that is going to be for me. Thank you all for watching. The NBA, man, it's another sport, man. It's crazy. But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.